Welcome back to the OSM channel. In today's video, I'm going to take this 150-year-old two-man crosscut bucking saw into the woods, and we're going to try and saw through a piece of oak that's been on the forest floor for probably about 4 months now. Now, oak is a very hard wood compared to pine, of course, so I'm curious to see how long it's going to take to saw through that piece of oak. Now, this is a bucking saw. It's designed to saw through logs that are already on the ground, as opposed to a felling saw. Felling saw is much thinner, and it's designed to make the notch cut as well as the back cut when you're felling a tree, of course. Now, last time I sharpened this saw was probably about 10 years ago. This saw has been safely stored in a scabbard, so I don't think anything really got damaged, but we will just have to see. So without further ado, let's throw a handle on this saw, take it in the woods, and see how well it cuts. This is the saw handle I'm going to throw on the saw today. Now, this saw handle actually has some pretty cool features. You know how on modern professional grade chainsaws, the bar cover has capture nuts, meaning that the nuts never fall off the cover. Well, we have something very similar at play here. So this is the pin that locks onto the saw itself. But this is actually a capture pin, meaning that you can pull it out to open up the slot. However, the pin never falls out, and that's due to the pin being tapered. So that's a pretty cool feature right there. Another cool feature about this handle, take a look at the imprinted crosshairs cast into the steel on this handle. What that means is you actually can have this tool parallel to the saw, or you can have it perpendicular to the saw, depending on if you're felling or bucking. Now, because we are bucking today, we're going to have the handle parallel to the body of the saw. Now, there are two holes. I'm not really sure which one's better. We're going to try going with I guess we'll go with the lower hole and see how this works out. So we'll pull up the pin, capture pin, drop it into the lower hole. We'll tighten up this wing nut. Also ensuring that the saw blade is in the slot cast into the steel of the handle. Tighten up this wing nut. And we are secure and ready to go. So this is the piece of wood I'm going to try and cut through. Oak, guesstimate maybe 75 years old. What are we, about a third of the way through? We got a long way to go. Well, I'm about halfway through this log, and if I'm being quite honest, I'm a little bit out of breath here. I'm not used to doing this every day. Now, I'm sure those of you that watch my channel have probably watched some form of timber sport, where they have all the competitions, you know, the standing block competition, springboard, and then crosscut saw competition, which I think they have 1-man and 2-man saw competitions. But you watch those guys saw through a piece of wood in like 20 or 30 seconds. Well, for one, those guys are jacked. 2, probably have 2 guys on the saw most of the time. And 3, they're sawing through rather soft pine. Not what we have in the Northeast here. These hardwoods, it's tough to saw through. You know, there's a lot of trolls on my channel that always tell me I have soft hands. Well, you know what? We all have soft hands compared to the men who used to run these saws back in the day. I tell you, if you never use one of these crosscut saws, it'll totally give you a different appreciation for what the modern chainsaw has to offer. So I was starting to get a lot of resistance with the saw, and I think that's because the kerf was starting to close up. So as opposed to using a plastic wedge, I found a stick, jammed it in the top of the kerf, and it's opened everything up. Now, as I get lower to the ground, it's going to become a lot more challenging because I'm only going to be able to use up a very small portion of the saw, and I really don't want to land this saw into the soil because it takes about 10 hours to sharpen a saw like this. So let me try and keep going here. So it's taken me quite a while to get to this point, and I'm gonna discontinue use of the 2-man saw, and I'm gonna swap over to this single-man saw to try and ensure I don't dig these teeth into the ground. I think this would have gone a lot smoother if there was a second man on the saw. Some of you may be questioning, well, how sharp is your saw? Is it filed properly? And looking at the shavings, might be kind of hard for you to tell, but that's actually a pretty good looking shaving. It's about the right thickness. There's no whiskers that go off the side. So I'd actually say the saw is adjusted quite well, with the exception of the cutter teeth. I'm finding that there's a lot of binding in the curve of this cut, which tells me that likely the set, which is the offset of the cutter teeth, needs to be adjusted. I think they need to go out a little bit wider, and I think that would make this a bit smoother. But you know, also sometimes when you cut through a log, just tends to close up on you. That's where these rocks are coming into play now. So let me remove this 2-man saw and we'll swap over to the single-man saw and hopefully get through this the rest of the way. Well, I did it. Took about an hour, but it just goes to show you how far a little bit of determination will take you. I felt like if I had a second man on this 2-man saw, and if the log was slightly higher up off the ground, would have gone through this a lot quicker. It also doesn't help that this has been sitting and drying for probably around 4 months. Wetter wood definitely is easier to saw through, and soft woods, pines, spruce, those types of wood, those species are definitely a lot easier to saw through than hardwoods. Now quickly, I want to address a comment I get on my channel all the time. The comments go on to say that you millennials and Generation Z kids are not nearly as tough as us baby boomers. And you know what? I actually hold that comment to be pretty true, and I think that's mainly due to the invention of all these modern machines and tools that allow us to accomplish more work with putting in less effort, which in actuality, it's kind of a good thing because in theory, it kind of improves quality of life. But I will say this, baby boomers that normally make that comment, you guys are not nearly as tough as the silent generation and the greatest generation and generations born prior to 1901. So the greatest generation was 1927 and 1901. Prior to that, I'm not really sure what generation that was, but men that were born prior to 1901 that didn't have the convenience of the chainsaw and all this modern diesel-powered machinery, those were tough guys. That's back when men were really men, back when you had to work a crosscut saw all day just to get a few chunks of oak so you could try and make a piece of lumber or a couple rounds of firewood. In my opinion, that's back when men were men. We are just so spoiled with all the modern tools and machinery we have nowadays, and trying to saw through a log like this really makes me appreciate what we have nowadays. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching. As always, I will catch you on the next one.